And that brings me back to the heart of this little studio here in the heart of the exhibition floor, where I'm now joined by Phillips McFarlane. Good afternoon, I should say, Phillips.
Good
Welcome.
afternoon.
You are formerly the treasurer and one of the content specialists at the Esomar Foundation.
That's right.
And we'd love to, in a show that's all about social impact, we'd love to devote some attention to what the Esomar Foundation is and what it does. So enlighten us a bit. People who've never heard about this, what is the Esomar Foundation?
Okay, well, it's the arm of Esomar that is really out to do good in the world, to make the world a better place through better use of market research. So first and foremost, we're here to help any researchers in need. So anybody who works in the market research profession who, because of war or some other horrible thing that happens, finds themselves in dire straits, then we're here to help them. And that's our foremost thing. Fortunately, we haven't had any applications recently. So
okay, because that's one of the three programs, right?
Yes.
But you're saying, so if anyone in the world working in market research gets harmed,
yes,
the foundation takes care of their family?
Well, we do what we can to help them and make sure that they don't suffer unnecessarily because they're market researchers, So we would do that.
But currently there's not like
Sorry?
many. And do you have any examples in what kind of areas that happens?
Well, we did have an instance in Afghanistan a couple of years ago where someone was actually killed while he was going around doing
just
some
by
polling.
Doing research,
Yeah,
right?
just
a job that's being described in the show as rather dull. Well,
no,
this is the other side of it.
Yeah, and that really was the trigger for founding the foundation, because without a foundation, it's very hard to get the money to the family, to know who the family is, to make sure the money gets to the right people and does the right thing. So that was the trigger for the council to set it up. Yeah.
Okay.
So it was a really horrible circumstance, but we're ready.
Well,
if
we learned yesterday
happen.
from Michael Hecht, who talked about the tragedy here in New Orleans, that you sometimes need a tragedy to be radical resilient,
that's
right?
True. That's true. So that's our first program. Then, secondly, we like to do education in emerging markets. So, either of budding market researchers. So markets where, because the market isn't so big or they're not so very rich, the programs of education aren't there for them. So we've done Myanmar a couple of times. We worked with the Market Research Association in Kenya to do some training there. But not only market researchers, I'm a great believer that actually everybody should have market research skills. And I'm very keen that entrepreneurs should understand how to do market research, because I think that basically more businesses would survive if right at the beginning they knew how to listen to their customers and understand what their customers want. So recently in Rwanda, we did some training of students of the genocide, so people who'd been orphaned in the genocide, who are just finishing their university education, and there aren't many jobs in Rwanda, so they have to set themselves up in business, and teaching them about marketing and market research as well.
And I understand that you always or often partner with a local market research association,
yes,
right?
Well, you have to have someone on the ground, otherwise you get there and nothing is organised. So either the Market Research Association, or in Rwanda it was SURF, the Survivors Association, who organised everything.
I think we have someone of SURF on the studio.
Yes, I know, yes.
So and just to be really clear, who executes these trainings?
Well, generally I sort of manage them, and plus volunteers.
Okay.
So young people.
That's what I'm trying to get at.
Yeah.
Are we looking for volunteers?
We're always looking for volunteers, and certainly we've been tremendously fortunate. We've had people from the UK, from Argentina, from India, from clients, from agencies who give their time. And it's not an easy thing to do, actually, to develop the materials and go out and do these things. But I'm very, very grateful to them. But yes, anybody who wants to get involved in that, get yourself on the volunteer list, and we send out.
And just to make that really practical, where do I find the volunteer list? Where do I go?
Go to the Esomar Foundation website, esomar.org, and sign up there.
It's actually starting to tie together some narratives we had here on Channel 3, because I don't know if you listened to our previous show, but there we talked about making this industry attractive for the younger generation, and it was all about doing good, giving them extra time to do social impact projects. So
precisely, yeah. I was talking to Finn earlier on that really we could do with a lot of young volunteers to do all sorts of things to help us. I mean, So the third arm, if I can go on to that,
yeah, please.
I want to talk about volunteers, is sort of a big idea, which is that basically the world of philanthropy, of aid, can use market research better, that we can help them understand cultures and how to implement programs and how to measure the impact of their programs more effectively. There was a very brilliant paper here last year for the Bill Gates Foundation and various other people looking at male circumcision in Africa and how you get people to agree to do that and whatever. So we believe we can do that. So we've been organising some programs of education and whatever, getting together with the sector. So one of the things we're doing that I have young volunteers for is to work with the European Association of Volunteering.
Yes.
It's a very circular
argument. Yeah.
Because they want to prove the benefit of volunteering. So we're doing, as a first stage, we're doing a review of all the literature to see to what extent volunteering helps both the volunteer and the person who's helped. So that's quite an interesting thing.
All right, so to sum up, 3 different programs. One is aiding research, families of researchers in need. Second is developing educational programs in underprivileged areas. And the third is actually aiding the NGO community in better...
And can I say another sentence? Because very serendipitously, there is an initiative called the Paragon Initiative, which is the UN looking for partners from industry to help them develop the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals, helping them achieve them. And Paragon is the market research industry's initiative. So it all fits, you can see how it all fits together. So we're working there with Unilever and other partners to do a load of research to help governments, especially in emerging markets, again, implement all the initiatives to eradicate poverty and hunger and make more equality and everything. So that's another huge opportunity for volunteering from the young people especially as well, because it really can make a difference.
Yeah. Hey, and it's called the Esomar Foundation.
Yes.
That means there's money involved. How do you raise money?
Well, we up till now we've really had donations from Esomar itself, which is very generous.
So and it's apparently a part of your membership fees.
Yes. And also we've had people sponsor individual events. But for the bigger thing, the Paragon thing, we're going to be looking for corporate sponsors to actually get together, say, groups of volunteers who will help a particular country understand the culture and how to eradicate poverty or how to improve education or health or something like that. So that's something we'll be looking out for soon. So yes, we need resources in terms of people and in terms of money. Yeah.
Okay, and what's next on the agenda? Where's the foundation heading? What are the new ideas?
The really new idea is Paragon. Is getting that sorted, both on a qualitative and a quantitative sense. So getting the volunteers organised, communicating to governments and statistical offices that we have this capability, and creating the demand and delivering it. So that's really our next 12 months aim.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
very exciting.
It's pretty exciting, and like I said, I think this is fitting together. On the one hand, we're creating a need as an industry for places where people can do good, and then here's this infrastructure, basically. We can just partner up with the foundation.
It is so serendipitous, I can't believe it. And I always believe that when things come together, it means they're meant to be and they will happen. It
must be the moment, right?
Yes, absolutely.
All right, Phyllis, thank you very much for explaining a little bit about this foundation. Good luck with all your work.
Thank you very much.
And hope to see you back next year on Channel 3
and I'll report
give
on
us
progress.
A little update.
Yes, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Bye.